Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Rulla Alani, and today I will be answering a question that I received on Instagram. So the question is, how important is physical attraction in a provider? So I'm gonna read you guys the exact question because there's definitely more layers than just that. This woman asked about age gap and a few other things as well, but I thought it was going to be a great teaching point because I'm sure there are other women out there who have a similar question, and I thought that it would just be more beneficial to answer the question through a YouTube video. So let's get right into it. The question reads, "Hi Rulla, I'm a new subscriber. Just watched your most recent video about how you knew your partner was the one. I've been in a relationship with someone I've known since him and I were young. We've been together for over a year, but it feels like things are coming to an end now. It was very a healthy relationship. We communicated well. I never once questioned if he really loved me or wanted to be with me. I trusted him and he told me all the time he wants to take care of me and make me happy in the future. The problem is I feel like we have zero chemistry. I also feel like he has put me in several annoying situations in the past. For example, we went on a trip to Vegas, which he paid for entirely, but he just gambled for a lot of the time and we ended up missing our flight back home because he wasn't keeping track of time. Sometimes I feel a sense of immaturity from him, which makes me feel not attracted to him. We are the same age, 23, but I give him grace because I know he has good intentions and I know he has unconditional love for me and wants to make me happy. I guess all of this is to ask you, do you think physical attraction and chemistry are important when trying to find a masculine provider? Is having an age gap better? I have heard mixed advice on these topics. Would love a video or response on this." First off, thank you so much for submitting a question. I don't think that I have talked about physical attraction in the past, so I think this is a really important topic, especially when it comes to dating. I do want to say I don't think physical attraction is everything. For me personally, I have never had a type when it comes to dating. Like if you put all of my exes in a line, it's not like that they looked similar or they had a certain vibe or a certain style. I very much select men for different reasons. It's not just their appearance or their height or anything that is surface level. So that is personally how I go about things. Now, I know plenty of women who have a certain type, who all of their exes are tall, white, and blonde, or, you know, have a certain demographic. But for me, that personally just does not really align with my values. So this question really is personal because it depends on you. Like, are you someone who is really adamant about having someone who has a certain level of attraction or who has a certain level of appearance or look that you want and that you desire? If that's what you're looking for, then maybe physical attraction is going to be something that you rank higher than someone like me. But I do want to let you know that there is good news because physical attraction does develop over time. It's not something that's fixed or unchangeable. We tend to have these feelings develop and change over time. So you definitely can grow more physically attracted to someone. You can build chemistry over time. And I really want to emphasize that point because I think in our day and age, we just think that all of these puzzle pieces need to fit together on day one. Like we need to have this sparkling chemistry and this amazing conversation and all of these things need to hit it right on the nail. But truthfully, relationships should be a process. They should take time and you need to be patient to actually develop those feelings towards someone. I personally do not believe in love at first sight, and if you do experience that, it's most likely lust or a different feeling that you are mistaking for love. So in this situation with you and your partner, do I believe that physical attraction is everything? No. Now, you did mention that there was zero chemistry, and that is something that is troubling because, as we all know, attraction kind of runs on a scale. Let's say like 0 to 10. So if you're saying that there is zero chemistry, then that is a really tricky situation, because that means not only are you not attracted to them physically, but you're not attracted to them emotionally, intellectually, behaviorally. So all of those things kind of together are kind of a bit of a red flag, because there should be some level of attraction. It doesn't need to be a 10 out of 10, but even a 3 or a 5 is going to be a lot better than 0. So some things that can help develop attraction are taking the time to notice what's nice and what's great about this person. Obviously, this is like attraction 101. What you think about grows. So if you continue to think about the positives of this person and how they make you feel and how they contribute to your life and how you feel when you're around them, that is going to add to the attraction. Now, if you're always thinking to yourself, oh my God, I don't feel something, I should be feeling something, this guy is not being dependable, he's not being responsible, and you're thinking of all the negatives, well, that is obviously going to lower your attraction. So it sounds like you have some work to do. It seems like this guy has potential, but he's really not hitting all of the boxes for you. I do also want to note that one thing that us women really prioritize when looking for a provider, when looking for a mate, is someone who is dependable. And the fact that you mentioned that he planned this trip for you guys, he paid for it and was like halfway there and providing you this awesome experience, but then he kind of screwed it up by wanting to gamble and missing the flight. This is showing kind of a lack of dependability, because he might say that he loves you and that your happiness is his priority, but if his actions are not aligning with that, then the truth is a different story. So you really do need to assess, how mature is this guy? Am I willing to, compromise and stick around while he grows and develops as a man, which isn't always the best case scenario. I always preach on my channel that age gaps are good. Age gaps really do work, and studies have shown time and time again that women naturally prefer men who are 3 to 5 years older than them, and that men work best with women who are 3 to 5 years younger than them. So the fact that you guys are the same age could kind of explain why all of these things are not really adding up. Well, you're not feeling that attracted to him because he is not coming off as a provider, as a man, as someone you can lean on and trust, right? He's still showing signs of immaturity, of being a boy, of not really taking things seriously. So all of these things can contribute to your level of attraction. So in the first half of the video, I really kind of just wanted to voice my opinions and my take on the situation, but as you guys know, I always like including some amount of research or different articles and journals and what they are saying about attraction and about this question that you had. So the first study that I want to bring up, these researchers found that personality and appearance matter significantly when people are falling in love. It was also found that there were some gender differences that exist. For example, men place more of an emphasis on the physical appearance of women when they are evaluating their attractiveness. On the other hand, women put a higher priority on the personality characteristics of a man when evaluating his attractiveness. So as you can see in this research, women actually tend to rank physical appearance lower than personality. So you need to ask yourself, is this man going to change over time? Is he going to grow over time? Is he going to mature over time? Because him embodying those masculine traits are going to make you more attracted to him, right? It's not that he needs to go get a haircut or he needs to go change his style. Those things are not going to impact your feelings as much as his personality traits. In addition to that, for females, attentiveness and flirtatiousness of their male partner both positively correlated with their physical attraction. When you guys went to Vegas, he really wasn't giving you that attention. And as we can see in this article, that attentiveness is one of those things that us women really desire in a man. We want a man to be focused on us, to be actually engaged when we're with them, when we're on a date date night, when we're on a vacation, we want them to give us their undivided attention, right? And so the fact that he didn't do that can very much explain why you don't feel so connected to him. Overall, the contributions of emotional and cognitive dimensions are more substantial in a woman's attraction compared to a man's. So the way that this man treats you emotionally, and also the way that he thinks, right? Cognitive deals with intellect and the way that we think. So these things are going to affect how attracted you are to this man. So another thing that can increase attraction is certain events that take place. So obviously something such as date nights. Other things that impact attraction include certain events that take place. So obviously something like a date night. Major events which increased physical attraction in women are an increase in both communication intensity and quality, a higher frequency of kissing, an overall positive sexual experience, and the presence of a date night. Also, a higher degree in conflict decreased women's attraction. So when women are with a man who is communicating with them consistently, who is taking them on date nights, who is, showing them this attention, not just with their words, but also with their actions, all of these things are going to contribute to attraction, while things such as conflict are obviously going to take away from attraction. So overall, this study found that being attentive and dependable to one's partner and showing a readiness for commitment can actually help predict happiness long term. Having a partner who right now in this moment is fully committed, is showing you all those things by being dependable, by communicating with you, by taking you on date nights, by giving you their attention, all of these things are going to add to attraction, and they are going to help bring you guys closer to each other. So from your message, I'm not sure if you are in that phase where the relationship is kind of fizzling out. I mean, you did mention that it seems like the relationship was coming to an end. So there's so many moving parts when you are deciding whether you should continue on this path with this person or maybe break up. You really need to remember that attraction is something that can be ignited with time, with energy, with effort. Now, it's up to you if you do want to put in that time, energy, and effort, or if you think it's not really worth it. That decision is ultimately yours to make. Another article that I read on meetmindful.com was titled, "Can We Cultivate Sexual Chemistry?" And they found that yes, attraction can be built over time. And they actually compare attraction to a muscle that needs to be exercised. So spending time thinking about the things that you like about a person, both physically and emotionally, can help drive attraction. And fantasies and feelings will grow and develop the more you focus your thoughts on these things. So if you really kind of train your mind to think about the positives about this person and to kind of appreciate the good traits that they have, those things are going to grow, and so will your attraction. So the next source I want to talk about is actually from a man called Ken Page, and I believe he runs a podcast known as Deeper Dating. He had a really interesting way of analyzing individuals who date people who are low on their attraction scale versus individuals who tend to date people who are high on their attraction scale. And he says that both situations have their pros and cons. There isn't really a clear-cut answer in terms of, dating someone who's very attractive is way better than dating someone who's less attractive. Actually, there are both positives and negatives to both situations. So let's talk about that. So first, let's talk about people who tend to date people that are lower on their attraction scale. Well, these people tend to be scared of intensity. Perhaps they've been hurt and they've experienced loss before. So they actually tend to feel safest with people who maybe aren't that physically, romantically, or sexually attractive, but they feel comfortable, safe, and protected around them. So the downside in this case is, well, there isn't very much passion, or maybe the relationship is a little bit boring, or maybe it's just a little bit stale. It's not so invigorating and exciting and filled with all these different emotions. And people in this category actually tend to be coupled up more often, but they also tend to be less fulfilled and maybe at times unhappy because they are with someone who does not rank very high on their attraction scale. Now, on the other hand, we have the category of people who date super high on their scale. So these people tend to believe that real love and passion is all about dating people who are super high on your attraction scale, right? They think that it needs to be the butterflies, the fireworks, all those things need to be going off in order for them to know that this is the person for them. So unfortunately, these situations tend to be exciting but not very secure or stable. So people in this category actually tend to be single more often because it's less likely that they are going to meet someone who is super high on the attraction scale. So as we can see from both of these scenarios, there really isn't a better or worse option. It truly comes down to you. Do you want to feel more safe, more stable, more, grounded? Or do you want to feel more passionate, more excited, more kind of giddy and in that unstable kind of zone? And also, there is a nice middle ground in between. Like, I think that there's something super special about dating someone who maybe you overlooked initially, but as you get to know them, the attraction grows. You develop such a strong friendship, relationship, and bond that you realize, like, wow, this person was somewhat of a hidden gem, and I wouldn't have ever gotten to know them had I just said, oh, well, they're not an 8 on my attraction scale. So I think it's important to not limit ourselves in terms of who we want to date or who we want to, go out with, but to keep an open mind and to realize that attraction is something that can grow, change, and develop with time. Now, in terms of age gaps, if you've been watching my channel, if you know what my kind of dating principles are all about, then you would know that yes, I am for age gap relationships. Now, that isn't to say that all relationships between people of the same age are going to fail, or that dating someone who's younger than you is a sin. I think that everyone has the freedom to make the decision that is going to be the best for them. Personally speaking, and just after reading countless studies and research on this topic, it is proven that age gap relationships just tend to work. And I'm not talking about a huge age gap, but even just a few years, because that allows a man to really work on himself and his self-development and on building his nest and becoming a man before he's adding a woman to his life. Because you're truly not going to find a provider in someone who is still a boy, in someone who's still immature, in someone who can't keep track of a flight time and is just gambling a vacation away that could have been better spent. So if you want to get a little bit more information about age gap relationships, I have a video where I talk about that, and I will link that up above. Now, that basically sums up all that I have for you today. I hope that this answered your question. Please make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Leave any comments down below if you have something you want to share or add to the conversation. I would love to read those. And thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys very, very soon. Bye.